Yeah. Tell me when we're live, Dad.
We're live, Dad.
Oh, all right. Welcome back, guys. We're live.
Yes, sir.
So we have a lot of important stuff to talk about. First thing is happy birthday, Afton.
Thank you. Thank you. I was gonna be humble and not tell them about it, seeing as it's June and my birthday's in January. But if you really wanted to, I understand.
Early/late birthday wishes. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. It's 3 days away from the farthest day in the year from my birthday.
Couldn't have been closer.
Couldn't have it closer. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, guys. I'm giving you advice today. All right, Afton. You want to talk about anything important, or do you want to just tweak?
Tweak? Can you ask that question in a different way? You want to talk about anything important today? Do you want to tweak? I mean, I'm already tweaking off.
That's not tweaking off. Do you know what tweaking means?
I'm making crap up.
Look up tweaking
Thought you were on
off.
like drugs.
Kind of. Not really. All right,
Yeah,
ready? Here's
same
the
old
first
drug.
article. Star Wars Disney canceled plans for a brood movie with R-rated elements. This is from the Direct. An
Fat
R-rated
Elf in the
movie.
Star Wars
Shut
universe.
up. God dang. Jesus. Guys,
I,
get
I
this
cut
guy out
myself
of
off.
here.
Cut myself off. My bad. My bad, guys. My bad, guys.
Shut up! Jeez. All right. Back to the topic at hand. An R-rated movie
Sorry
centered
about that.
around.
I'll be quiet. I'll be
All right, you can leave the pod. Go ahead. No, you don't get to leave.
I. An R-rated movie is
What is
centered
that?
around Boba. I said an R-rated movie is centered around a Boba Fett.
Oh, it's annoying.
Should I continue?
Shut your mouth.
My bad.
Good. Apologize.
I'll try not to talk over you.
Apologize.
What?
Apologize to me.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
Apologize
I said
to the
I'm
fans.
sorry, Daddy.
Apologize to the fans
I'm sorry, one viewer that's most likely Sammy's phone.
and the podcast.
And the podcast. Oh shoot.
Yeah, because we put this on podcast.
Yeah. I'm sorry, podcast.
Okay, now shut your mouth. Don't speak unless spoken to.
That's my bad. I'm sorry about that.
An R-rated movie centered around Boba Fett was apparently in the works at Disney and Lucasfilm before it was scrapped by the studio. Boba Fett made his triumphant return to Star Wars universe in season 2 of Disney Plus's The Mandalorian. However, to disappoint the many fans, the character's own series, Book of Boba Fett, was not well received, and many felt that it did not do the character justice. Rumors suggest that Fett would be receiving his own feature film in 2018, similar in the style that too of Rogue One and Solo, as a one-off installment. It was also rumored that Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny director James Mangold would be at the helm of the movie. However, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy denied Mangold's involvement in November 2021. In an interview with Josh Harwitz on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, film director James Mangold, who will actually be directing an upcoming Star Wars movie, revealed that he was working on a Boba Fett feature film for Disney and Lucasfilm that was a bit more mature than other projects in the franchise. Mangold revealed that he was, in fact, working on a Boba... Jesus, man, they love to repeat themselves. All right, quote, well, at the point I was doing it, it was probably scaring the crap out of everyone. But I was probably making much more of a borderline rated R kind of spaghetti western, single planet spaghetti western. What the hell does that even mean?
What is a spaghetti western?
I don't know.
Is it like Italians?
I don't know. It is important to note that Disney almost definitely would not have released any Star Wars film at that time with an R rating, especially since it had been just over 5 years since they acquired the property. If this movie would have released, it would have been PG rated 13 rating, but it would have still have likely contained some mature themes and R rated elements. The Logan director then talked about what happened to the movie and why Disney decided to scrap it, especially mentioning the Han Solo movie and its box office failure. The world would never have been able to embrace Baby Yoda if I had made that. So, because it didn't really belong in the world, I was kind of envisioning, but I was just kind of just in a moment of a kind of cooperate realignment after whatever would happen with the Han Solo movie. They just suddenly decided that they weren't making pictures like that, and I think the opportunities in streaming presented themselves. Yeah, basically nothing. They were going to
Yeah,
make a movie. I feel like this is what Disney has kept doing. And at this point, I just view it as an excuse because I'm kind of at the end of the line with Disney right now. Like, I still love Star Wars, but Disney I don't care about. Um, is that they've had these great ideas, and now we're hearing about them after the show does crap, right? Kenobi, it was supposed to be a movie, right? Oh, the show sucked, but it was supposed to be a great movie. Boba Fett, the show sucked, but it was supposed to be a great movie, right? Like, we're hearing about all this stuff afterwards. I don't really care. Just make something great the first time around. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, I don't care about Disney's excuses. These are excuses at this point. We had an article coming out, and this is not verbatim. I'm playing off of words, but it was pretty much Kathleen Kennedy saying they need to move on from George Lucas, right? They need to say goodbye to him and his characters and start working towards Disney's characters and the future of their characters. That is right there the problem with Disney, and that's why I do not align myself with any of their content anymore, or the reviews, or any of it. I mean, that's pretty rubbish right there. You want to move away from George Lucas and his characters and his story, then you're not writing about Star Wars. You're writing about something completely different. The story of Star Wars is George Lucas and the characters in it. It's never been about anything else. There can be other parts of it, but that's what it is.
yeah. They taking it. We've been talking about this for past couple streams, but past couple, I mean, it's been about a year since we haven't said anything about it, and quite a few videos too. And whatever it is, we don't like the direction. Personally, I don't. I get excited for every TV show, and then at best, it doesn't. It never hits expectations. Andor was hyped like crazy and just didn't hit expectations. Obi-Wan Kenobi was hyped for years. I'm pretty sure nearly a decade, and it didn't hit expectations. Why are you telling us this now? Hey, we were gonna make something good, but instead we decided to release to you a Boba Fett show that flopped. Uh, it didn't flop. It just did very poorly, which is the definition of flop. It's why. Why are you telling us this? Hey, you could have had something great, but we decided to make a bad decision. What? What? Keep these some things you keep to yourself. Don't. Oh, it's disappointing to hear. Hey, we could have done something good. A near R-rated film. That if it was R-rated, that'd be the first time ever in Star Wars history, and just crazy. And if
I
it
don't really care
wasn't,
about an R-rated movie. That doesn't really intrigue me. It's not Star Wars. Right? It's like the same thing when they had swearing in The Mandalorian. I forgot who swore, but somebody swore.
yeah, so that was weird. It's
I
just
don't.
never been in Star Wars.
That's not Star Wars, right? Like having these hip characters like Lizzo and Blackjack and adding new swear words and having an R-rated movie. That doesn't sound cool to me at all, right? Like Revenge of the Sith had R-rated theme to it, but it was a PG-13 because that's what it is. It's a fan. George Lucas has
Yeah,
always said the story of Star Wars was meant for everybody. It wasn't meant just for the older crowd. It was meant for the young crowd too, right? So
yeah,
like, and that's where Disney thinks they need to make a show or a movie for a certain crowd for every single project, and that's it's just not true.
yeah. Like, I mean, the Obi-Wan Kenobi came out, and I'm pretty sure it was released at the TV version of PG. And I was all like, what? Are they not going to have any violence at all in that? And then Vader snapping necks left and right whenever he came down. That was the coolest thing ever. I don't know how it wasn't rated at least PG-13 equivalent.
I
But
think it was
I
rated
don't.
PG-13.
Okay. Either way, it was Vader came down and just started murdering people by looking at them, and it was gruesome. But that was a tiny portion of it, and they had that in Revenge of the Sith. They didn't show it for a lot of parts. Anakin turning on his lightsaber with a room full of kids, and then later Obi-Wan says he saw the footage. Yeah, kids got murdered. You know, like these things happen. It doesn't need to be a let's make an R-rated film. Like a whole bunch of people have always had the idea, why don't we make an R-rated horror film around Ewoks on an Ewok versus Stormtrooper? And I was like, that's cool as all could be. That'd be funny. But that's not Star Wars. That'd be just completely spin-off. That'd have to be not canon or something like that. And I don't know. Disney's just been dropping the ball too much, and then it's almost insulting. They say, "Hey, we could have done something that was good, but we decided not to
Yeah,
because we
no,
decided not to."
pretty much. It takes with a grain of salt because who am I? I mean, I'm practically autistic, but because they're making the new Indiana Jones and it is technically underneath Lucasfilm department, right? It pretty much is if if Indiana Jones bombs, right, box office wise, it does terrible for numbers. They don't even break even. Kathleen Kennedy's going to be on a hot seat or fired, right? Which, again, take it with a grain of salt because that's just reports and rumors right now. None of that has been true, as far as we know. But I don't know. I feel like that's kind of what needs to happen at this point because the direction of Lucasfilm and Star Wars and Disney right now is just awful, right? Like, I mean, look at Sony. I feel like Sony is crushing it for a lot of things. They have misses. It's not like they don't have misses. I mean, I'm pretty sure Morbius was Sony. That was really bad.
That was a pretty
Morbius
bad miss.
was as bad as you can really get, right? But look at their new Spider-Man movie. What's it cross? Cross Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
crossover.
Look at that. That is absolutely. I watched it and I loved it. It was a great movie, and it wasn't like groundbreaking, but like compared to what Disney's been making for movies, it's really good. You can miss. It's okay to miss, but just to be constantly missing, not make anything good. Like that's kind of part of the problem with Mandalorian was that no one cared about it because the last couple of shows sucked, right? Like Boba Fett was a stinker, Andor was a stinker, Kenobi in a lot of people's eyes was a stinker. I'm still, I still have a little bit of love for Kenobi, and that's just because I'm biased towards the character, but those are all stinkers, and that's part of why Mandalorian just no one cared about. People didn't even know there was a third season. Right? Like I was talking to my friends and they didn't even know there was a third season, and they're Star Wars fans. Right? Like that's just kind of the problem that Disney's at. And now even Ahsoka, I feel like Ahsoka no one's talking about. A year or two ago, I feel like everyone had been hyped for that because it's Ahsoka. It's a great character. It's a great time period. And the guy doing it, Dave Filoni, is a mastermind, right? He's done great work for Disney and Star Wars, but no one's talking about it. And we're like a month and a half away from it, right? Like when Kenobi was coming out, everyone was excited. We were waiting for the trailer. Ahsoka, no one cares. And it's not just me. I just know like no other Star Wars content creators talking about it. They're talking about Disney and the problem with Disney right now. Because that's all there is to talk about is Disney sucks right now. They're just creating these havocs and messes for themselves. I don't know. It's just
It's frustrating.
it makes everybody reluctant to even care. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Last.
There's all kinds of new reports and stuff. Like Andor season 2, they're supposed to be going back to Naboo, and they're supposed to be using the same scenery that they used in Phantom Menace. Well, that sounds intriguing. And 2 years ago, when we first started this channel, we would have probably made a video talking about that alone because that is awesome. We were like, "Where's the story going to go? How are we going to talk about that?" Now we're going to like briefly mention it on a stream and never talk about it again because we're not excited about it, and no one else is either. What we're talking about is how stupid Kathleen Kennedy is for saying that we need to move away from George Lucas and his story. What did you think you bought? What IP did you think you bought? Did you think you didn't buy George Lucas's story because that's what you bought? Like it,
Buys Marvel and kills off all the Avengers and goes to another planet. That's what you're doing.
and
Like
and
what?
it's Disney right now is the problem because Marvel is missing two. They had some success, right? I liked Guardians of the Galaxy. It was fun for me. There's last Spider-Man movie, No Way Home was fun, but Disney in general right now is just suffering, which is part and part why Lucas is struggling. But I think Catherine is definitely not helping. You know what I mean? I think they need somebody in charge there who's not worried about pushing out a product, not worried about, what the general appearance is or, how HR thinks about it. No, they're just worried about making a story, right? And a good story because that's
Yeah. I mean,
what Dave Filoni cares about. And for the most part, it's what we think John Favreau cares about too, right? I mean, he made that miss with Boba Fett, but there's reports that it was pretty much Kathleen Kennedy's fault, right? That she was mingling in that mess. So I don't know. Part of me wants to see Indiana Jones just completely fail and see Kathleen Kennedy gone, just to see what happens. Or I just want to see them keep missing and see Lucasfilm get sold because I think they could. I think they could sell it.
it could. I mean, like Star Wars has never been about this stupid crap. Like, especially the actors pissed me off, and I don't care about them. I like Jack Black as an actor, but the biggest actor they've ever had was Harrison Ford.
And part
Everyone
of him
else
got
was
big
built by
because
Star
of
Wars.
Star Wars.
Exactly. It was Star Wars and Indiana Jones. If I'm not mistaken, they were coming out at a very similar time.
Right.
And I
Well,
mean,
Mark Hamill's a big name, but he kind of got his name from Star Wars, right?
exactly.
What's his
No
name?
one.
In the prequels, Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor's
Yeah.
a pretty decent name.
Oh,
Again, kind
Liam
of got his name
Neeson.
from Star Wars. I think the
I'll give you
really
Liam Neeson, but they killed him off. Sorry.
yeah, but he wasn't. That was 1999. So like that was still when he was getting really popular, right? I think the only like there's a few examples of like oh they really added some big names here, like Samuel L. Jackson, right? That's like a but he wasn't like the main character or anything like that. He was just a minuscule character. Point is, it just seems like Disney's not really worried about the story. They're worried about like their appearance, pretty much, and appeasing a certain crowd. And it's not working for them, and it's frustrating a lot of people. I mean, I'm pretty stubborn, like I've said. I didn't see myself 2 years when I started this channel. 2 years down the road, just being like, all right, we'll see. I don't really care about making Star Wars stuff right now. I just care about like Lego stuff because I mean they're just stinking it up. You know what I mean? Like I don't even care. Like all I really want right now is just make Lego videos. Like, I just can't wait for August 1st to see new Lego sets coming out. I don't
Yeah.
really care about
It's
August and in Ahsoka. Why I give you all these negatives and I start crapping on Disney. There's not like there's nothing positive, right? Their games, I'm excited about their games. There's an update. Supposedly, Star Wars Eclipse is supposed to be coming out 2026, right? Who knows how realistic that is, but that's exciting, right? This new whatever this new open world game from Ubisoft is looks very exciting. I'm excited for those things. But everything else, like supposedly they're releasing two movies in 2026. They're releasing Dave Filoni, right? Dave Filoni is supposed to be making a Mandoverse movie, kind of like Heir to the Empire, in 2026. And supposedly they're supposed to be, it's like the next chapter in the sequels. It's supposed to be set 5 years after the Rise of Skywalker, but it's not a Skywalker saga film. Like it's not an episodic film. I don't know exactly the details of it, but they're going to be doing two movies in 1 year. I don't think anyone's super excited about that. I think people are more worried about like probably gonna get delayed or is it gonna suck? Like we're gonna wait 2 years from now and it's gonna be trash. Like, that's what people are worried about.
yeah. It's disappointing to see so many misses in a row. And even whenever you got something good, like Mandalorian, season three, it wasn't bad. They had some pretty cool ass stories, but it was just it wasn't what season two was. It didn't live up to itself. And then here they're remaking the Andor, not remaking. I mean, we got season two of Andor coming out, and it's like that show flopped. It got some random awards, but it flopped. I think it got like Emmys or something like that. Whoever Emmy
It
is.
was visually very beautiful, and I think I got something for great screenplay, something like that, like VR, uh, special effects,
Yeah,
something like
some.
that. It was nothing for like acting or screen performance or like it was nothing like that. It was like for visuals. And that's because I just spent a crap load of money on this one project, which I don't know why they chose Andor to do that. Why not like Kenobi, where it's only a 7-part or what was it, 6-part series? Who knows? That's a mystery in itself.
Yeah, it really is. I disappointment. Another week, another set of disappointment.
Yeah. A more important thing, we're talking about Star Wars, Lego Star Wars. We're back with the drugs for this week. Um, yeah, I got 2 new sets for a pretty good price. Rogue One sets. It was the hover tank and the ATST. The hover tank I've always loved. I remember when my brother got one for his birthday when that set came out. That is an awesome set. So I'm glad I got my hands on that one. Got both of them for like $70. But the ATST, I built it, and it's kind of cool for standing up because it's stable, but it can't move its leg joints. Right? It can only move its leg from the hip, right? Like its foot can't move, its knee can't move. It can only move its leg from its hip, which doesn't do you any good. So it was just kind of a weird build, but it's very cool. And then with all of that, I kind of looked through the Rogue One sets, and I realized they didn't have what it looks like. They didn't have one single standard stormtrooper in any of their sets. They had a Death Trooper, they had a Shore Trooper, they had some pilots, they had a TIE Fighter pilot, but not a single standard Stormtrooper, which I thought was absolutely bizarre to me. I was like, how did we not
Yeah,
have
that
a
is
single Stormtrooper in that time period?
strange.
Very strange. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I was like, Rogue One is pretty much about the Empire. Like, that's like all that film is about, right? It's like trying to get these planets from the Empire. And we do see Stormtroopers in that film, if I'm not mistaken. But we didn't get a single minifigure from that area with Stormtroopers.
Very strange. I mean, would have expected multiple. Uh, but yeah, especially how well the movie did. Many Lego sets just off of that movie. But yeah, hearing a whole bunch of other weird stuff. Are you interested in Indiana Jones? You gonna watch that?
No, probably not. I don't care enough. Bro, if I
I
want to
think
see
it's
a
a
bomb,
weird
why
thing
would
for
I
them
go
to make a
watch it?
movie now about it.
What?
If you want to see a what?
You said if I want to see the movie Bomb, why would I go watch it?
Movie bomb? Fair
If I
enough.
want to see the
I guess
movie
so.
Bomb, why would
Yeah,
I
no,
go?
I get it. You want to see it do bad? Why would you watch it? I see your point. I see your point.
Why did you struggle with that?
Fair enough.
You see the
I got it
movie
the second time, and then you still
Bomb,
thought I
you
didn't get
want to
it.
go watch it? What?
Exactly.
Stupid. No,
Uh,
I'm not gonna go watch it.
it's weird they're making an Indiana Jones after all this freaking time for, and they say it's the end of the end of the whatever it is saga. And I'm like, wasn't that the one that you made 30 years ago?
Bro, they made one more reason than 30 years ago.
I know, I know.
I don't even know if it's been 20. It might have been like 15.
2008. That's 15 years.
Damn, I'm good.
Yeah, 15,
I'm
15 years. I don't know.
I say,
The
I don't
one,
know.
the one before that was 89. I don't know.
Oh, what?
Yeah, the one before that was 89. Yeah, is that two? Let me see. Indiana Jones 3 release date. Yeah, and the last Crystal Skull was 89.
I thought there was 4 films.
There it is. Yeah, the one before that is 84 and then 81. 81, 84, 89, 2008, and 2023.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
It's like the
I
Matrix,
thought.
bro.
Yeah, I did not realize that came out in 2008. Dang, I should have watched that its release when I was 4 years old. I am excited for Lego though. I mean, if you guys haven't watched their newest Lego video, I don't know what you're doing with your
I
lives,
don't know how
honestly.
I feel about Lego. I feel like the summer wave is kind of weak. But I feel like the fall wave is where it's at.
Yeah,
That's
is
what,
it?
that's where we're supposed to get the gunship and then the UCS vendor. And then supposedly some Ahsoka sets when the Ahsoka show's airing. So like September-ish. So I feel like all the sets that I'm excited for aren't really during August. There's like a set or two I am excited for, but like the
I
main
should have
set,
said Lego Star Wars. I freaking saw that Spider-Man with Lego Marvel, and I'm
I'm
getting
excited
myself
about
one of
that.
those.
That that might be, I don't know exactly. I'm obviously the first set I'm getting for August is going to be the uh 337th battle pack, the Ahsoka Trooper battle pack. I want to at least get my hands on one of those for a review at the very least. And then I'm definitely not getting any of the mechs. So
No,
I
not
don't care
until they go on
about
sale for $5.
Yoda Starfighter. I'm not like I don't not like it, but I'm not getting that right away. I don't.
You
It's
sure
not.
you're not gonna get Yavin for his base?
Yeah, 4 looks cool, but I don't know if I'll get that right away either. I want to see how
Especially
it
because
does.
it's $170.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think that's going to be one that does very well. I think it's going to go down in price.
Yeah, it's built. They're marketing like one that they're marketing it like one that's gonna do really well, but I don't believe it.
I don't know. I don't. I'm very keen on seeing how well that does because a lot of 170 sets for the last couple of years have been like ships or whatever. It's been a while since we've gotten like a base like that.
Yeah. And I mean, it's got a ton of minifigures, but
Well,
it's
I feel like this year we're loaded with minifigures.
it really is.
We got the Spider-Man one, the Avengers one, the Yavin one. There was another Star Wars one that supposedly was going to have a. Supposedly, the gunship is going to have a decent amount of minifigures as well. Like it's going to have a, two shock troopers, like Commander Thorn or Captain Fox or something like that. So at least 3 clone troopers, Chancellor Palpatine, a Padme, and a pilot or something like that. So like 5 or 6 minifigures for $140 is pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Whereas last year, I feel like we got, well, not really last year. I feel like this winter we've gotten jibbed on a lot of minifigures.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like
We're
Yoda Starfighter for $35, that thing doesn't really like. That should have at least one more. Like again, I still can't believe. Like if you look at it, Kenobi Starfighter is like almost twice as better. It's $5 cheaper, right? It's only $30. It has more pieces, and you get an extra minifigure and a cool minifigure, right? It's the Kaminoan, and the Kaminoan is the first minifigure we've ever gotten of that species. I feel
and
like
you could
that's
argue that R2D2 is not even a freaking minifigure.
true, but
Like
everyone, I mean, Lego counts it as that, and if Lego counts it
I
as that,
know.
they're going to give it to that. But I'm saying like it. I don't know. I feel like that set alone, like the Snub Fighter, Pirate Snub Fighter, is like that's $35. But you only get 2 minifigures as well in that one. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just the minifigures have fluctuated. Some sets are like, wow, that's awesome. We're getting a crap ton of minifigures. I'm excited. And some sets just like, geez, could you even have one in there at least? You know, like
Yeah,
the Yavin one, I'm kind of excited for it just because it has so many cool different minifigures.
for real. I mean, I'm excited for. I'm honestly almost as pumped for Marvel as I am for Star Wars. Like I like
I
this
feel like the
freaking
Marvel
Star
ones
Wars.
are more fairly priced at least.
Yeah, especially the. I mean, there's some that are like, is it overpriced? But then you look at the freaking Star Wars ones. It's like the Marvel ones. I think it's 10% overpriced. The $100 one that's going for 110. The Star Wars Spider-Man one. And then you look at the freaking Yoda Star Pilot thing going for like $35 for no freaking reason.
I feel like what it is like the middle ground. So like the $100 sets, the $80 sets, the $120 sets, $140 sets, all of those ones are like the best, most fair, evenly priced sets. Right. But all the big ones, 170 and beyond, and like below 50 are all the sets that are like overpriced. You're like, what is happening
Yeah.
with this? But like once you
Yeah.
get past 50 into like, the 70 to 140, in that area. I feel like those are all the best sets. You get your best buck for your dollar.
You actually get a good build and some decent minifigures, but the
Not
smaller sets.
That's not 100%, but for the
Oh
most
yeah,
part,
no,
it is.
that's the trend though.
Yeah.
Actually, get some bang for your buck with that.
Yeah. Don't forget. I mean, I know you're gonna be back, but if there's sets you want to get before they retire this year, some of the ones I think are important to get: the Republic fighter tank with the Mace Windu and purple clone troopers. I believe that is retiring at the end of this year. Um, and I think that's a great set. I think I already have. How many do I have? Okay, I only have 3 sealed ones. I'm finna probably get 4 or 5. Um, but then the Snow Trooper battle packs also retiring, which I also
Oh
feel is
yeah,
a decent one because, like, I mean, it's just like I don't think it's gonna go up in crazy value, but I think it's always gonna retain a decent value point. Where I think after it retires, you can probably sell that for $30 to $40 right away because it's like it's an army builder and it's a very good army builder. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, it is. It is. You got so many troopers right there for the snowpack. I mean, and then even the tank. I mean, you got droids coming in too, and the
Well,
freaking.
those clone troopers alone, I don't, I don't think it's gonna be a hot minute before we see those again. I really believe that
Oh yeah,
because like
if
when people
ever
are talking
again.
about the 332nd troopers, the Ahsoka troopers, they're like, oh, it's only in one set. Collect as many as you can. They're gonna get rare. I'm like, you know, they're gonna make those again, right? Like it was in like multiple episodes in Clone Wars, and probably like the most like the ending of season 7 in Clone Wars was like one of the most like popular arcs ever, right? When have you ever seen purple clone troopers on screen? The answer is you haven't.
They
You
don't
haven't seen them on
exist.
screen. They're
They're
from
never coming out
they're
again.
from the comics and the books. So the fact that they even made them is spectacular. I don't believe they're ever going to make them again. So like, I'm just trying to get as many as I can because I think they're going to be popular because of that.
Are they
And
even technically canonized?
no, they're not canon. They're legends.
It's insane.
Mace Windu does have a battalion, the 187th, I think that's what it is, but they're not purple.
That's crazy right there.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
it, I think it's 187th. Yeah, 187th Legion. So it is interesting to see that they did that. I think that's good. Like, if you guys want our advice, I do think go get those.
Yeah, and then message us and sell it to us at a discount, please.
And especially since they're a Target exclusive, it's like almost all Target exclusives do decent after retirement. I would grab at least 3 of those. At least. Keep one for yourself for your collection for long term if you want to sell it long term. But then sell 2 of those after the retirement pop.
Yeah.
Because there's always that pop right after retirement. Like, within the 6 months after it retires, people are like, crap, I didn't get this. And then there's always like, oop, go sell one for $20 more than you bought it for.
Yeah, and that's a quick ass return.
Yeah. And I think it's only like $40. It's not like out of all the sets, it's
Yeah.
like I think it's a little because the build's skimpy, but the minifigure selection is what saves it. I think it's fair.
Yeah,
$40 for that set's pretty fair in my opinion.
I'd agree. It's like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. It's a big enough tank to where it's worth the price point. Because if
Yeah.
it was a little bit smaller, or if it was a freaking I don't know, 2 ATSTs or something stupid like that, I'd be like, oh, do not touch this.
Well, the
Or 2 walkers, not
ATST,
ATSTs, not ATSTs, walkers, like the 2 walkers that a trooper stands on top of.
ATRT, I think it is.
Whatever came in the battle pack that came out that one year
I
with
think it's ATRT.
yeah.
I mean, the ATST you can argue is a little bit overpriced. You only get technically what is it? 2 minifigures, 3 minifigures for $50.
Oh, that is totally overpriced.
Like, I think that's a $40 set. If I'm being honest. I
Yeah,
know.
it's
I know
it's
the
$50
build.
on Lego.com. The
I
Hoth
know
one,
that.
and it's like
I know,
that's
I know the build's thick, but like I don't know. For
no.
$50, you should get at least 4 minifigures.
Yeah.
Like if you get a pilot for the ATST, there should be a stormtrooper on the ground or a snowtrooper.
Oh yeah.
What am I gonna do with a probe droid? That doesn't mean do anything.
No, who cares about probe droids?
And you can't count that as a minifigure. If Lego is trying to do
Uh,
it, I think they probably did.
no, they did not.
Oh, they didn't.
Nope.
So they only advertise it as 3 minifigures.
Yes, sir. At least that's what I'm saying. It kind of surprises me, honestly. And if you,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it's just. I think they were just trying to release this one as, oh, hey guys, price per piece here. How you doing? Because it's
Oh, they definitely
586
try to do that.
pieces.
They play into that, which is why I think it's dumb for people to use that. It's like you're kind of playing into Lego's hand. They're just using smaller pieces now. They're not giving you a better set. They're just using smaller pieces, and you're falling for the trap.
Yeah. It's it is not worth $50 as a build. I see that sometimes. I'm like, holy freaking crap! Is that a joke or is that the actual retail price? You can probably get on Amazon or something for $40, but I think that's even pushing it.
I've never bought it for more than 40. I've always bought it under like for 38 or $35. Walmart just had a sale for like 30 something dollars. That's when I bought another one recently. I bought
Yep.
another Boba Fett's Palace for like $70, got it $30 off. Walmart had some great sales, but Target has some sales. Nothing on Star Wars though. It's all like Lego Friends and like a lot of the Lego exclusive stuff. None of the IP sets.
No, the good stuff.
Yeah, not like Marvel or Harry Potter or Star Wars.
Yeah, that's usually how it is. Hey, we're gonna have a Lego sale, but not on what anyone wants.
But Walmart had some pretty good sales on the Star Wars stuff. It was like
Yeah.
random things too. It was like the ATST was on sale. The TIE Fighter was on sale, but not the X-Wing, which I thought was bizarre because usually they both go on sale. But it was just the TIE Fighter, Boba Fett's Palace, the Justifier, and the ATST. I get Boba Fett's Palace and the Justifier because those are both like very overpriced. People don't buy them. But like the TIE Fighter for $40, it's decently fair.
Yeah. A little bit better. I like the TIE Fighter build a lot better than I thought I would. I really did. I don't know. The AT-AT, I haven't seen that one go on sale at all. And it's almost weirding me out.
Yeah.
160 flat across the board.
Yeah. Hey,
Well,
this is a totally. Well, I don't even care. You're retarded. Do you have a key to your apartment?
yes,
Okay, so when you get back, you don't need a key.
correct.
Okay. I was just thinking about that. I was like, am I supposed to let you in when you get back?
No, sir.
Okay.
I'll just break in through the window.
All right. This has been our longest stream in a long time.
Yep, we talked about everything from why Disney sucks to I need an apartment key. Um, yeah,
I'm gonna put that as the title on the podcast. Episode 158. Afton forgot his apartment key.
clickbaitiest you could get. It's shown in the last minute and a half, and it's not even true.
Who's gonna clickbait that? Who's like, ooh, I'm actually interested in who's Afton?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
All right,
Oh
guys.
shoot.
We hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like if you're on YouTube. If you're on podcast listening at this at a later time, thank you. Don't forget to hit that follow and download. And with that, we hope you guys enjoy this, and we'll see you in the next one. See you.
Peace.